problem with authority and what he has to do, but Granny's got a real hard whip, you know.
Well, it sounds like he's sort of going along, but it's still very confused and confusing and kind of ineffective, right? And maybe even counterproductive.
Connor, I'm from Texas, and we're here because we want to do something different for Thanksgiving.
Vegas is definitely a great place to celebrate family values for Thanksgiving. It's a little different. What's that thing on your face?
It's a mask.
You know you're not wearing that properly, right?
Yeah, I don't want to wear it at all.
It's a little more comfortable with your nose out?
Yeah, without it.
Yeah. But it'd be more comfortable without it entirely, right?
Definitely.
So why are you wearing it like that?
I don't know.
You don't know? So you just do things without knowing why?
That's right.
That's part of human life, isn't it, right?
Live it up.
But you know that you're wearing the mask essentially because of some kind of government policy, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Mandate.
Oh. You can call me sir now. It's making me sound like I'm the authority now.
No, not at all.
No, we're good. But then you'd have to do what I say and you wouldn't know why.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. But you got vaccinated.
Yes.
Which vaccine did you get?
Which one did I get? Moderna.
Moderna. Yeah, did it feel good?
No.
Do you actually have some impact, like negative side effects from the vaccine?
I was like real sluggish for about a day, half a day.
And why did you do that?
Had to.
Had to?
Yep.
Are you sure?
For school.
Well, you had a choice, right?
Yeah.
What happens if you don't take the vaccine?
I have to wear this.
Well, you have to wear it now anyway, it looks like.
Well, here. I'm from
right in the casino. You have to wear it. Well, you don't have to wear it on the street out here, though, right? You're choosing to wear it
Yes, sir.
kind of like that. Why?
I have a grandmother.
Oh, it's really not for her. But if you wear it improperly, it's not really having any effect protecting her anyway, is it? Sounds very confusing.
Very.
So you're confused?
Very.
Because I'm confused.
Very.
Yeah. Okay, and the vaccine you got, it made you sick?
For about half a day.
Yeah. Do you know, like, the odds of COVID? How old are you?
17.
17. I couldn't tell with the mask on. But do you know what the odds of you having any symptoms at all from getting COVID itself are at your age?
No idea.
It's like negligible, right? Like if you got COVID, even odds are you'd have an asymptomatic experience. You know what that means, right? Like you wouldn't have any symptoms at all. You wouldn't even notice that you had it. But you had the vaccine, and it made you
twice.
Oh, so you tested positive, and you still got the vaccine, even though you have that natural immunity effect. Yeah. And you still don't know why you got the vaccine.
Nope.
This sounds really dangerous. It sounds like doing what you're told is hurting you, like, and you don't know why.
I agree.
You're from Texas.
Yes, sir.
That's why he keeps calling me sir. See, at least I'm making her laugh, right? Because we're not trying to kill grandma. We care about grandma, right? Sure. That's why but you're isn't that weird? He's trying to help you and he's completely confused. He's not wearing the mask properly. He doesn't know why he got the vaccine. He tested positive twice for COVID. And he's just doing all this stuff without knowing why. If you were really worried about him protecting you, you'd be really worried that he's confused. You wouldn't be laughing about it, right? Somewhere you guys know.
Yeah, he has a little bit of a problem with authority and what he has to do, but Granny's got a real hard whip, you know.
Well, it sounds like he's sort of going along, but it's still very confused and confusing and kind of ineffective, right? And maybe even counterproductive.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't quite grasp the effects of COVID and what it can do to the body, you know.
Well, ma'am, you're wearing a mask and you're with someone who's not wearing it properly. I mean, wearing the mask isn't really helping you at all then, right? It's just, and if anything, it's just making you more likely to pick up some virus from the contact and the rebreathing effect. So why are you wearing a mask?
I want to live.
but you know that there's some level of bullshit to that, right? You know, and I hope I'm not being offensive because you're laughing along. I can sort of tell with the mask, right? And you're engaging in this conversation in good spirit because we're examining something important, right? Like, you know that there's some really deep contradiction in all of this. Where I see it, like Connor walking, like, this would be embarrassing. You're like, really, you know, you're wearing that improperly, right? Like, you know, we are as a society like this massive walking contradiction right now over COVID confusion, and it's hurting us, and we don't know why, and we're using language like have to, right? It's a mandate, but it's not. That's defeatist, limiting language that denies the reality that we have a choice to not go along. Right? We have a choice to say, I'm not going to go to a government school at all. We have a choice to say, I'm not going to trust the mainstream media anymore because they've lied too freaking much so already. We're not going to trust politicians who are selling us out to big pharma. Right? You know, he's totally joking. I know that guy. He's a Trump tard. But it's okay. So what, I mean, have you ever had this conversation that we're having right now to identify this contradiction?
No, sir.
No? Have your family, have you talked about this?
Oh, yes. My daughter's an RN, has been for 20-something years.
Well, have you talked about this contradiction? Have you as a family answered the question, why is Connor from Texas walking around with his nose hanging out?
Because he is stubborn.
But it doesn't make sense, does it? It doesn't add up. Why are we letting this, isn't it maddening that we're living this giant contradiction and kind of just going along to get along and acting like everything is normal and just accepting, oh, well, you need another shot. Oh, well, you need a booster. Oh, well, now you need to wear masks. Well, no, you don't. Shouldn't we at some point stop and have the conversation and say, no, pump the brakes. Let's examine this bullshit. Let's examine these contradictions because we know we're being lied to, and we know that we're being lied to so that they can take advantage of us, so that his future is not in his hands because we see what's the effect of this. Sorry?
Then it's in the government's hands. Bingo.
And who pulls the strings for government? The super rich who are getting richer in all this, right? And no offense, but I would call you out. I would say it's because you're going along, because you're wearing a mask, because you're letting him, you're living in this contradiction and not stopping and saying, no, we're going to deal with it. We're going to address it. And I think it's selling out his future. And I think even just the last 2 years of economic restrictions that have led to a concentration of wealth and power, they're coming out of his hide, essentially. It's not even people older like us. It's who you know, I mean, in a sense, it's our future too, but it's all of his adult life now is negatively impacted because people who should have known better in our generation accepted these contradictions and have gone along with it for 2 years, right?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. So what do you want to say? I can't wait to hear what Connor has to say. You want to take off the mask and say something, Connor? You can take it off. Just I'll stand back 6 feet.
No. I ain't worried about catching it. I know I can fight it all.
Do you want to take your mask off? I'm inviting you. Do you want to take your mask off? I want to say something to the camera, like to America. Now that this is the first time maybe that I'd like to say, I hope to take credit that I've presented you with this very important issue of the contradiction here. How do you hope that we as a country address it?
Hope I have a good future. That's pretty much all I hope. That's all I work for. Make sure I don't struggle in any way, provide for my family, live life. Actually, whenever we went to In-N-Out Burger, one of the officers there, he like brought me this because I didn't have mine.
How do you want to see America address this contradiction, though? You're okay. You're saying you got it okay, but you know that people are suffering. You know there's a lot of people hurting right now. You know there's maybe you're lucky. You have a nice family that's looking out for you. You're privileged enough to get to come to Las Vegas, but you know that's not everybody. And Texas is okay, relatively okay. You see the difference going from Texas to Nevada, right? Like Texas is they don't really let this get in the way of business. Here, they were shut down hardcore for 3 months. People were out of work. People are still suffering. Rich get richer, poor get poor. Maybe you guys are okay.
We're okay.
But what that gives you puts you in a position of responsibility, doesn't it?
Yes, sir.
To look out for people who aren't as lucky as you, who are suffering under this. And if you guys go along and you go along, I'm going to call you out now, Connor. You just said I'm going to go along because my future's okay. It's kind of selfish, isn't it? When there are people suffering around you, right?
Well, it says for the people, we the people is a bunch of bullshit.
All right. Should we? Last words. I'm going to let him, and then you're going to get the actual last word. Connor, final thoughts, sir.
Rather not wear the mask. Rather not have gotten the shot either. I don't see the point of that.
I just hope you keep pulling that thread, young man.
Thank you.
And you?
F the government.
Texas, baby. Thanks, you guys are fun. I love it.
We will meet that challenge with courage and love, and as always, we the people will prevail.